can take these out because they're not doing anything. Welcome back, everybody, to the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. I am your host, Kojo Sarfo, and I'm looking for my AirPods case. And I have my AirPods case. I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, checking in live from Georgia, my parents' house. But the AirPods case is right here. We're talking about ADHD, and look at the ADHD in action. The AirPods case is right here. Mickey Ficky, what am I looking at? But I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, checking in from my parents' house in Georgia. I'm out here and I will be talking about how to thrive with ADHD. I have two main things for you all tonight. Two main things. Two main things for y'all. And I want y'all to tune in, to tell a friend, to let a friend know that I'm streaming live right now. If you're new here, my name is Kojo. I post about mental health, comedy, and education. Feel free to stick around, or y'all can read, so there's no point in me reading that out. But Jasmine Romero, Jasmine, how are you doing? Wolf of Harlem, how are you doing? We should be streaming to TikTok right now. We should be streaming on um, uh, Facebook. Where else? Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Okay, I need my assistant to fix the YouTube thing because it's not all the way there. John, I'll take a look at this document in just a second, but can we fix the YouTube thing? Because we are streaming right now to my main YouTube page. And I guess it's good, but let's just leave it here because a lot of my YouTube subscribers don't know that I'm moving the late night show and the morning show streams to the um, the new YouTube page where it's all live streams because I have to be organized. But as of right now, it's streaming to the YouTube, my main YouTube, so it's fine. So let's just let it be that for now. But moving forward, I want to be organized and stream specifically to my late night with Dr. Kojo YouTube. And I see that we're streaming to my Facebook page and then my late night Facebook page. That's fine. So all that's fine right there. Let's just review this and let channel look into it as well. I want to make sure that we do this correctly and we do it the right way. And once again, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you so much. All right, so as y'all can tell, I have ADHD as well, and I'm all over the place. But tonight we're going to be talking about how to thrive with ADHD. So Aubrey says, hello. Wolf says, thank you for this. I appreciate you. RR says, I want to thrive. I want y'all to thrive as well. So we're talking about how to thrive with ADHD tonight. Like I said, my name is Kojo Sarfo. I'm checking in from my parents' house in Georgia. You're watching the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. We stream every Tuesday, 6 p.m. California time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm late today, so I got to work on that. Use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from, so that we can get to know each other. So I can't talk for some reason. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And also, if you're watching on YouTube right now, if you're watching on YouTube and you enjoyed these streams, please follow my YouTube page that is specifically for the late night show. The late night show and then the breakfast show, which I'm going to bring back as I get more organized. That's where you'll find these streams. And if you're on TikTok, TikTok for some reason TikTok should. Oh, I don't think I added TikTok as a channel. Let me add TikTok real quick. All right, y'all hang tight. I want my TikTokers to also be able to get this. So let me get. You good? Yeah. If you need me, text me. I want my TikTokers to also get this live stream. It's gonna be very important. So gotta put the URL, the stream key in, and put TikTok September 10th. As you can see, I'm getting organized as I'm on the live stream. What a world. What a world. Look what I'm doing. So I have my TikTok phone right here. At some point, we should pop up save changes. Oregon, thanks for sharing. RR, thank you for checking in from Oregon. North Carolina, Sydney, thank you for checking in. Florida, Aubrey, thank you for checking in. Sydney, how are you doing? How deal with being organization? But Jasmine, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, but I'm going to help you out tonight. Don't worry. By hearing and hearing by from the PNW. By hearing and hearing by is a staple of this live stream. All right, so we're live on TikTok now. Great, perfect, perfect. I love it. Keep it real. Okay, all right. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it real tonight. How to thrive with ADHD. Let's talk about it. There's two main things that we have to do to thrive with ADHD. Well, first of all, let's break down what ADHD is. So if you look in the DSM-5, or you look on Google or whatever, wherever you go to check out mental health content and learn about this stuff, they'll tell you that ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. I don't know what the hell that means. That's just a bunch of, I don't know what that means. The way I understand ADHD is I understand it to be a condition which affects your ability to regulate your mood and your attention. So if you have ADHD, there's a good chance, if you have ADHD and you're watching me right now, there's a good chance that you struggle to regulate your mood and your attention. When you struggle to regulate your mood and attention, you're gonna have mood swings. Your mood's gonna be up and down. When you feel like doing something, you'll do it. When you don't feel like doing something, you won't do it. And that's fine for most things, but when you can't get your taxes done, when you can't, go to the DMV and take care of that, when you can't do vital tasks at your workplace that, potentially could get you fired, now it becomes an issue. Difficulty regulating your mood and your attention. When you can't stay locked in something long enough to finish a task, how can you be confident? Confidence comes from repeated self achievement. So, if you have ADHD and you struggle to regulate your mood and your attention, you're in for a hell of a ride. It's going to be a very interesting life. It's going to be a very interesting life. You're going to struggle with a lot of things, but you realize that you're also good at certain things. And figuring out how to put the pieces together is going to be key for you. It's going to be key for you. Um, John, okay. One second. Thank you so much, John. After this live stream, I'll look into it. But once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So yeah, let me see. Checking from Denver. What's up, Jasmine? Naquan. So many people on the spectrum should be brought to the forefront. I agree. Naquan Crump, I agree. I agree. Keep in mind, ADHD is not viewed as a spectrum disorder like autism, but I do believe ADHD is a condition where you can have many different types. So I view ADHD as being its own sort of a spectrum, not to confuse it with autism, but I do view ADHD to be its own sort of a spectrum, right? Yeah, wow. Yeah. This guys, this is shocking information. This is good stuff. This is good stuff, y'all. So, like I was saying earlier, when you struggle to regulate your mood and your attention, as you know, life can be very difficult. So, how do we thrive with ADHD? I'm not talking about how do we live with ADHD and we do okay, we're fine, and I'm not like I'm enjoying life, and like I'm barely getting by. I'm making the most of life. No, I'm talking about how do you thrive? How do you thrive? How do you live the life you want to live with ADHD? And that's why I'm going to break down tonight. And ADD versus ADHD. Keep in mind, ADD is what we used to call ADHD back in the '90s, and before that, attention deficit disorder versus attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. ADD is just the inattentive form of ADHD, right? So with ADHD, you can be inattentive and forgetful, disorganized, or you can be hyperactive, impulsive, and loud and interrupting people. And you can have a combination of the two, right? So you could be hyperactive, impulsive, you can be attentive, or you can be a combination of the two, right? Right on time. So how do we thrive with ADHD? The very, very first thing that you have to do is only two things. The first thing that you have to do is you have to eliminate shame. I'll be at the International ADHD Conference in Anaheim, California, November 16th, and I'll be talking about this. This is what my keynote speech is going to be about. And I'm giving it to y'all right here. I'm giving y'all the good stuff right here for free. The message is not going to change in Anaheim. Two things. The first thing is eliminate shame. The second thing is to implement the system. If you can do those two things, you will thrive with ADHD. Everything that I'm doing on social media, the content creation, the skits, the songs, the short films, everything that I'm doing is all to allow me to eliminate shame, number one, and to implement the system. Eliminate shame, implement system. Those are two things. So if you want to check out the video right now, I've given y'all the two things. And now I'm going to explain why each of these things is important. But that's it. Eliminate shame. Hey, I love y'all too. I love y'all too. A lot of love for y'all. This community means so much to me. Just know that. I say it every time, and I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I love y'all. I really do appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. Eliminate shame and implement a system. Why do I fixate on shame? Because ADHD, the neurodivergent experience in general, growing up, there's so much shame that's involved in it. And if you have ADHD today, think about in your day-to-day tasks, the things that you do that make you feel ashamed. Oh my goodness, I forgot my wallet. I'm so dumb. Look what you just said about yourself. Oh my gosh, I forgot my car keys. I'm gonna be late in traffic. Oh my goodness. I can't get things together. I'm so dumb. The things you say about yourself. Oh, like how do I run out of time? I can just never seem to get anything done. Dang it, my brain is so dumb. Oh, AKA, I can't. All these things that you say to yourself, these are very hurtful things. Oh, I'm just the worst person in the world. Oh, I can never get together. Oh, anything I start, I can never finish it. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's so much of the ADHD experience that comes down to shame. And when you feel shame, what does that make you do? It makes you not like yourself. You don't like yourself. So you may have gone, you may have gotten into a relationship, a toxic relationship, and sometimes you blame the person, like, oh my gosh, like why do I keep attracting these people who are hurting me, and why do people do X, Y, Z to me? It's not that you can't pick the right people. Perhaps have you considered the fact that you're struggling to like yourself? So you try and pick people who help you like yourself. People can present themselves that way in the beginning, come in, manipulate you. They pull the fast one on you. They pull the fast one on you. Shame. When we feel shame, what do we tend to do? We tend to isolate. We tend to like go, we tend to like say to ourselves, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, oh. I don't want to tell anybody about what I'm going through because I feel all this shame. Shame, it prevents you from implementing a system. Because you would implement a system, but you have all this shame. Like you feel bad for being the way you are. When you don't like who you are, it's hard to make different changes here and there. Shame, 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 shame. Hi, I went to school in the 90s and was diagnosed at a young age, but I've been urged to get diagnosed as an adult. You think this is wise? So, Brittany, what normally happens is when you go into a professional for a diagnosis or an assessment, you can tell them, "Hey, I got diagnosed with ADHD as a kid," and then they know that as they're doing their psych evaluation on you, they're considering ADHD as a potential diagnosis, and then they'll probably re-diagnose you because you have to get re-diagnosed for them to they prescribe you the medications and treatment. Some people will just take your word for it and say, "Oh, it's a historical diagnosis," and they'll put it in there. But theoretically, they're supposed to just do their own assessment. It can be abbreviated, but they should do their own assessment and agree with your historical diagnosis, and then proceed with the treatment. I have a learning disability, and that's how it makes me feel dumb and stupid. Right? And Jasmine, you're not dumb and stupid because look, what was dumb and stupid is all relative. When it comes to rocket science, I might be dumb because I don't know anything about rocket science. When it comes to making mental health content, especially in short form, I'm the best in the world. But if you put me in a different environment, I'm gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know these equations. Am I dumb? No, you're just not set up to succeed in that environment. So you can't be too hard on yourself. I like structure. I like structure. Structure is key. Structure is key. Tough hearing that from my 8-year-old. Hearing what, Aubrey? How much of the system? How do I get it? All right. So this system is free. The system is free, but you have to eliminate shame first and foremost. Because if you can't eliminate shame, It's going to be difficult to implement the system. It's hard to take action when you feel bad about who you are as a person. Insecurity and lack of confidence leads to indecision. It leads to you not. It leads to you thinking about ideas but not following through on it. Think about with depression. One of the key signs of depression is indecision. I don't know what to do. ADHD and depression go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Oh, your 8-year-old says he's done when he can't get something because that's what you're trained to think. You're trained to think that if you can't get certain thing done, you're not. Oh, I'm not competent. I'm dumb. But it's important to address these things. The way you talk to yourself is very important. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do my homework. I'm so dumb. No, no. Maybe you have a condition that makes it hard for you to focus and to complete your homework. But if you were in a different environment with a certain system, you could thrive. You could thrive. Lejean says, "What do you say about um, what do you say about the fear of taking medication?" All right, so Lejean, the fear of taking medication. Now tell the truth because this is a safe space. We can tell the truth over here. Tell the truth, okay, Lejean. We're having this conversation. Is it the fear of taking medication, or is it the shame of taking medication? Is it the fact that you don't want people to know that you're taking medications, or like if people find that you're taking meds, it's gonna make you feel better about yourself? Which one is it? Because a lot of times it's a combination of the two. It's fear and it's shame. Now, when it comes to fear, I get it. You're introducing your body to medication you've never tried before. The pill says Concerta. Oh my gosh, Concerta, 18 milligrams. Oh my gosh, what is this? You research it. You do your, you do your Reddit research, right? You go on Google. You go on Chat GBT to figure out what's Concerta. Sure, do all that. But it's natural to have fear and be apprehensive about taking a brand new medication. So that's normal. Don't feel bad about that. The fear is something that a lot of people will experience. But what tends to pull people down more is that shame of, dang, I got to take this pill every day. I got to take this pill. What people find out to take a pill? What they think that I'm crazy. The shame prevents you from doing anything about what you're experiencing. And keep in mind, you gotta do something because the way that you've been living hasn't been working. If it was working, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be stuck. We wouldn't be watching Dr. Kojo videos. But the way that you've been living hasn't been working. On TikTok, let me see. Someone says having to take control medications is actually very effective. People need to stop shaming. I agree. One of the most effective things that you can do for ADHD is to take medication. I'm not gonna hop on here and push pills for y'all. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I won't do it. I won't do it. But keep in mind, one of the most effective things that you can do for ADHD is to take medications. This is the most treatable psychiatric condition by far. You can take a medication and the same day you'll feel the effects. If you're taking an antidepressant, you have to wait weeks to know if it's working or not. You know what I'm saying? It's the most treatable condition. So why are we robbing ourselves of a chance to get ourselves to a place where we feel better? A lot of it is shame. And speaking about the system, a big part of a lot of people's system when you have ADHD is taking medications. I wake up, I exercise, I take my Concerta, my Adderall, my whatever. It's all a part of the system. Rahmed quit cigarettes 11 days ago. Congratulations, Rahmed, on TikTok. Arts and crafts, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I was born in the 90s, but graduated late 2000s. Early. Okay. Me too. I know that era. I know that era. Brother, what's going on? What's going on? I believe it. Yeah. Do you see postpartum moms with ADHD typically struggle more after having kids? My brain is fried. So, Sydney, look, the postpartum period in general is hard for anybody. Uh, Postpartum anything, postpartum anxiety, psychosis, depression. It's difficult when you're in the postpartum period. It can be very lonely, even with a good support system around you. So, for women who have to do it by themselves, single moms, or this minimal family support, I think about that often, and my heart goes out to them. And whatever help that they can get, I'm always rooting for them to get that help. But especially in the postpartum period, it can make things that much more difficult. It doesn't mean that you can't thrive, but let's just say you're a postpartum mom with ADHD. Number one, eliminate the shame, like I said, and that allows you to get the help. Maybe you need some meds. Maybe you need counseling. Maybe you need a good support system around you. But once you put these things in place, it's going to position you for success. If you're in an environment where you can't get meds, the people that are around you talk to you negatively and they don't support you and they make you feel shame amongst other things. If you're somewhere where um, you don't have the adequate resources to take care of yourself, if like once look, as humans, we need a couple of things. We need somewhere to live, right? We need people to love, and we need connection. We need community. We need food. If you don't have these basic essentials, your quality of life starts to dip. It makes you feel bad. When you live in that environment for too long, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You need a system for getting things done. A system. There's no like this online community that I built, with 3.5 million followers. I needed a system to help me get here. And even then, I still show up to this live stream 40 minutes late, right? That means that the system needs some tinkering. I gotta alter it a little bit more so I can, you know, handle these things. And everything that I want to fix, it can be fixed. But you have to have a system in place, especially when you have ADHD. When you have ADHD, your brain's not by default, your brain's not designed to allow you to do things with consistency. Your brain's not designed to live a confident life. You don't have a bad brain. Just these are the cards that we were dealt. So are we going to complain about it or are we going to take action? I decided to take action, and it's led to this amazing community and this life that I'm very proud of. But I still have to do things each and every day just to make sure that I can stay on track. I love to hear you normalizing ADHD. I was diagnosed 6 years ago by a collaborative physician, and it changed my life. And K8, as you can see, it changed your life because why? Because now you have a word and an explanation for the behaviors that you exhibit. So now that you know that you exhibit these behaviors because of ADHD, you can go out and get the treatment and start to put things in place. When you put things in place, that's a system. That's all a system is. A system is having a doctor who prescribes you your medications, having a friend that you can rely on, having a partner if that's something that you desire, having community, having things that allow you to get food in time, having things that make it easy for you to get to work on time, whether it's adjusting the time in your car so that way it's 15 minutes ahead, whether it's putting on a couple of alarms in the morning. There's all these weird things that we may have to do, but it's a part of your system. Sometimes I've had assistants call me in the morning, like that was their main job. Wake me up in the morning because it's hard as hell for me to wake up in the morning. That's part of my system. It's part of my system. Kamala, how are you doing? Anytime, Sydney. Uh, my first thought uh, of getting medication, I thought they didn't put me in the psych ward. So here's the thing: you don't have to go inpatient to get medications. And normally, the reason why you get sent to a psych hospital is not because of ADHD. They can treat it there, but normally it's something like a manic episode or a psychotic break that will, get you into the psych hospital. Um, Moses on TikTok says, "Where do I get diagnosed?" A primary care provider can do it, or a mental health specialist, psychiatrist, psychologist, mental health nurse practitioner, psychiatric physician assistant. Uh, I have a question. I have rheumatoid arthritis and started medication for ADHD. I feel less pain. Is there any relationship? Good question, Christine. This is a fantastic question. You feel less pain after being started on medication. I, to be honest, do not know the correlation between the two and as to why you feel less pain. It could be a lot of different things. It could be the fact that now that you have medications, you're more active, you're taking care of things. Maybe your body is in better physical shape. Maybe you feel more confident. Keep in mind that the body, mind, and spirit are all interconnected. So with mental health goes hand in hand with physical health. When you feel better mentally, you get things done. so you feel better physically. So that's my take on it. Um, that's my take on it. Really good question though. I remember a creator speaking about fidget toys, and she said a similar thing along the lines of, "Why would you not give yourself something that aids you and helps you?" I completely agree. If you're a beginner swimmer, all right, and you have the option of having a life jacket to assist you as you learn how to swim, and you're swimming in 8 feet of water, and you're 5'3", why wouldn't you take the life jacket to help you as you become acclimated with the water? Well, why not? And if you're somebody who you took meds before, or you've been prescribed meds, and for some reason you didn't take it, so on and so forth, you should ask yourself that question. Really ask yourself, and do your best to be honest with yourself. Why am I avoiding this medication? And look, ADHD is not just about meds. There's lifestyle modifications we can do. I avoid processed foods to the best of my ability. I avoid refined sugars. Um, I've cut out a lot of things out of my diet. That's a part of my system. So it's not just meds. Trust me, it's not just meds. But meds can be a big part of your system that can make you feel a lot better. So if you don't want to do it for whatever reason, it's at least healthy to explore, or like, why am I afraid, or why don't I want to do this? The answer to that question is very important. I never watched lives. I don't know how I ended up watching this, but thank you. I subscribe. I don't know much. I don't know how much I know about your work, but I want to check it out. RR, I appreciate you. And people people find their way to my content in many different ways. Sometimes you watch one video by ADHD, or I'm not sure how YouTube works, but I'm very happy that you found my content, and I hope that's helpful. I want us to be having a good time. I want us to be laughing, enjoying, smiling, doing our thing, and learning something at the same time. Like that's how I was in school. Like I wanted to learn. I like history, but I didn't want to learn if you told me that I was learning. Like when you told me that I have to learn about Columbus, I'm like, I don't want. But when you put on a movie, or like when you made it interactive, and I would learn passively. That's maybe that's my neurodivergent brain, but that's how I like to learn. Like I didn't want to learn like straight up. I wanted the non-traditional ways of learning. So that's what I aim to do. And I appreciate your attention. And these live streams, I will be streaming them to my other YouTube page, because I need to get organized on YouTube. Yeah, I have almost 200,000 subscribers, and I love it. But I want people, because this is an entertainment channel. I want folks to know that when I go on this channel, I'm going to get this from Dr. Kojo, and this and that, and so on and so forth. So we're working to get organized on the tube. On the tube. Thank you, Arts and Crafts. I was diagnosed as a child, but my mother didn't know how to get me help. I'm 48 now, so I guess it's time to be re-diagnosed. I can start probably, and before I finished, I started 5 more. Aubrey Wade, this is a very ADHD thing, and you have to understand that in life ain't fair. So if you start one thing and it was going well, but you abandon that to start 5 other things, it's gonna be very difficult to build anything meaningful because you're not consistent. But your hyper focus ran out. So what do? So maybe if you had a system to where you could build one thing, and now I want to pivot and work on these 4 things. But oh, I have help. I have a friend who's helping me manage this one thing. Now I can stay consistent here while exploring other things. You know what I'm saying? So we can still allow our brains to do what we want to do, but we have to be very intentional about what we choose to do. And also, if you have a system that allows you to do more than one thing, great. All about the systems. With my ADHD, I feel like I can do everything at once, but then it feels like I'm in a manic episode. Jasmine, that's how a lot of us as ADHDers feel. I feel that way a lot of times. And keep in mind, I know about mental health. I know exactly what a manic episode looks like. So sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, am I talking too fast? Like is my mood too? Do I feel too good? Am I manic? And a lot of times it's just I have all these things that I'm excited about with ADHD, and then at some point it fades away. I'm like, oh, okay, I came back down to myself. The hyperfixation faded away. This is especially relevant to emotional regulation. If you're a mom, we need to self-regulate, co-regulate. This is key. Big facts, Kamala, because if you have a hard time regulating your emotions, how can you expect to be the best person for yourself? If you can't be the best person for yourself, how can you be the best mom that you can be? So with a system, it allows you to take care of yourself which allows you to improve outcomes for everybody else in your family, your spouse or your partner, your children, your parents. But you have to be right within first, or as right as you could be. Why is caffeine? Oh, and also we're at the 30-minute break, so somebody drop in the magic word so we can go ahead and get that water break in. Hopefully, we have some moderators on the chat tonight. We switched from Monday to Tuesday, so it might take a while for people to recognize that we've swapped over. Why does caffeine work better for concentration than the meds? It doesn't hype me up. Melanie, it could be. So look, I think this depends on the person. I've had some people who have said, I've had some patients who have said that uh, it like they feel good when they take their meds with the caffeine. Some people say the caffeine works better. I find that the meds work better, in my opinion. But caffeine is, I mean, it's a stimulant. You know, it's the most used stimulant in the world. So there are some benefits to the caffeine. I found your content through YouTube Shorts. Okay, the YouTube Shorts. I also watched the shorts from ADHD Love. I gotta check out ADHD Love. Got it. YouTube Shorts. I'm very grateful for YouTube Shorts and also for all the people at YouTube who have allowed me to, like I've been to a lot of YouTube events in Los Angeles where they've encouraged us and they've said, "Hey, keep posting your content on YouTube. Keep posting," because I wanted to give up. I wasn't finding my people on YouTube, but luckily I stuck with it, and now our YouTube family is growing. So very grateful for that. All right, we have the magic word in. Time for the water break. The water break gives us a chance to get some water in because as ADHD make it thickies, we forget to drink water a lot of times, and we're normally underhydrated. So big cheers, y'all. So clearly somebody was underhydrated, like I said. I just know that I've never been properly medicated, and because of that, I'm failing in life. So JCD, this could be medications could be the last piece to your system that can help you thrive. The goal is to thrive. Like I don't want you all to like just get by in life and like just like, oh, okay, I'm getting by. No, the goal is to thrive. The goal is to thrive. You're struggling, Sydney. You're struggling with what more specifically? I always forget stuff literally 5 seconds after, and I think something else, and then days later it comes back very frustrating. Does weed help with ADHD? All right, so very popular question, and also when it comes to cannabis and being neurodivergent, I believe that the neurodivergent community smokes or uses THC at a much higher rate. ADHD, autism, the evidence is there, and a lot of times we use it in our community because it helps us to sometimes feel normal, helps us like with the racing thoughts, helps to calm us down. But long term, I think it can lead to issues with your cognition. It can, lead to issues with motivation, issues with completing things. But I know a lot of people with ADHD who tell me that smoking is the only way that they feel better. So there's something there, but you have to be mindful of what you're using and also talking to your provider and make sure that it doesn't interact with anything else that you're taking. How do I learn to balance having both ADHD and autism? So, Angel, once again, eliminate shame. So, learn to love yourself as best as you can and implement a system. So, just because you're autistic and you have ADHD doesn't mean you can't do things that you want. You can, but you may have to do them in different ways because more than likely you'll have to accept help from different sources. So, how do you accept help from different sources without feeling bad? How do you take a pill every day without feeling bad that you need a pill to help you get things done? These are the key questions that we need to be looking into. Big cheers. Yeah, that water was much needed. That water was much needed. ADHD Love makes very relatable content. They show examples of how it can affect people in their relationships. Okay, ADHD Love. ADHD Love. Have I seen these Mickey figures before? Yeah, I've seen them before. ADHD Love. Yeah, yeah, I know these guys. Yeah, I know these guys. ADHD Love. That's what's up. A couple with ADHD. And it's helpful to see content like that because people sometimes feel like with ADHD you can't have a successful relationship. Nobody will love you, so on and so forth. Now, does ADHD complicate relationships? Without a doubt, it does. But it doesn't mean that you can't have a fulfilling relationship. As someone who smoked for years and years, I'm smoke free for over 8 months and it has been amazing for mental health as I've learned to control my emotional feelings without I rely on it. Right, in arts and crafts, that's one of the biggest things I see with the smoking. Like when you're having a hard day and it's tough to regulate your mood and you're just pissed off. You're like, I'm gonna just hit this blunt real quick. You just sparkle it up and then all of a sudden, "Man, no, I'm chill. No, I feel better. And guess what? It brings you to the present. So you do feel better, but then it leads to more problems long term. So, I mean, if there was a strain that didn't lead to problems long term, that'd be a game changer for medicine. But as we know it now, it's solving one problem to create another one long term. So when you learn how to manage your mood without it, I think that's a game changer. Um, I've been healed for 2 weeks, but someone buyer shamed me, and I haven't eaten a day now. So Teresa, very sorry to hear this. I'm sorry that that person did that to you because it looks like you're making progress. So here, learning how to care a little bit less. Maybe not. It's hard to not care, but maybe you can care a little bit less about people's opinions of you. Um, it can help put you in a position to where external events, outside opinions don't affect you as much. But this is the type of stuff that we do as human beings, not just with ADHD. Somebody says something we don't like ourselves. We feel shame. And when you feel shame, the actions that come after that sometimes aren't, they're detrimental to your mental health. They're not cumulative. They're not beneficial. They're not helping you get to your mental health goals. It's just helping you to feel less shame. That's why I said shame is so key. Shame, shame, shame. I don't want to go to Mexico no more, more, more. Do you think Mexico? I got that song stuck in my head. They used to sing that in elementary school. Do you think coffee is good for ADHD? So here's the thing: caffeine. You have to be careful with caffeine, but some people will swear by it. It can be helpful. Um, in terms of proper long-term treatment, I think stimulants work better. But I know not everybody wants to take them. Not everybody can take them. Not everybody can get access to them. So I understand all these things. Yes, exactly. Over time, I've learned to regulate my emotions and feelings without it. And if people can, I encourage them to try and find better. Yeah, yeah. And arts and crafts, you have to give yourself credit for even being on this journey and recognizing this and learning the different things you can do to regulate your mood more. If you can regulate your mood in life, there's a really good chance that you'll be successful at whatever you put your mind to. Nobody ever talks about that. Regulating your mood. Do you know how to manage your emotions? We all struggle with it. Nobody talks about it. They teach about all this extra stuff, the planets and Jupiter, Uranus, Mars. How about you teach me how to regulate my mood? How about you teach me how to deal with my emotions without me having to drink or smoke? Tree is helpful for me, but I see the hindrances too. And by hearing by, like, I never advocate for people to just stop smoking, stop getting high. I don't do that. I more so just ask people to evaluate the relationship with anything that you may be relying on. It could be tree, it could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be a paycheck. Anything that you're relying on that adversely affects you or that has the potential to negatively affect your mental health. Just reevaluate your relationship with that thing. That's all. Also, my doctor that I've never been to diagnosed me with a little bit of autism, ADHD, and you never. Teresa, I'm lost. You never been to this doctor? Yeah, you gotta be seen by somebody before they can diagnose you. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on here or like how this happened. Oh, anytime, no problem, no problem. And there's a lot of people who say that THC works better for them than the psychiatric medications, and or it has less side effects. So it's all about figuring out what works for you, talking to your doctor, seeing what interacts with your medication, so on and so forth. Uh, but you take the evidence and the data. It's my job to not judge. It's not my job to be like, oh, this is bad for you. I can just provide you with the evidence and the data, and then with that information, people should be equipped with the information so that they can make the best decision for themselves. My therapist says it's illegal without seeing them in person. So Teresa, maybe sometimes it's telehealth, like kind of like this, like you're talking to me and it's on Zoom. But I'm not sure exactly how this was. But, have you ever suggested art therapy? Oh yeah. Art therapy, music therapy. These things are all therapeutic. Like I'm a big believer in both. Sometimes when you feel frustrated, you don't need to punch somebody. You might just need to draw. You don't need to scream, or maybe you can scream, but maybe you need to play guitar and scream, or sing, or like you know karaoke night. There's so many different ways to regulate your mood. So why don't we tap into all these things? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I truly struggled with mental health for a long time, which is why I like to share my experience in the hope that it can help others. Thank you for the kind words. Arts and crafts, anytime. I think that's one of the benefits about of the internet. The fact that we can share our story with strangers all over, and it can help to impact them in a positive way. And I remember when I uh, September 2024, this month, well, actually on September 29th of this month, that'll be the 5-year anniversary of me releasing my first book, You Already Won. And that book, it changed my life. Not because I sold a lot of copies or made a lot of money, but it changed my life because it was the first time that I had publicly talked about having ADHD. And I put that in my book in chapter 9. And before I, pressed the button to publish a book, I deliberated and I thought about taking out that part from the book. I was a little bit ashamed of, having ADHD and letting it be in the book. So I was like, oh, I should probably take this out of the book. So I thought about it for like a good week, and afterwards I'm like, nah, like this is how I wrote the book. Let's leave that chapter in there. And me leaving that chapter in there gave me the confidence to talk about having ADHD. It gave me, it empowered me. After I saw people's reaction to it, I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this more. And I spoke about ADHD on TikTok and other platforms, and now I'm sitting here, almost 4 million followers later, and I get to have this awesome community who supports me, and I get to be a part of an important movement. Um, and it happened because I had the courage to just talk about what I was going through. Um, Thank you, Kamala. I appreciate that. You can purchase the book on it's on Amazon. It's called "You Already Won" by Kojo Sarfo. It's still my favorite book. The other book, the more recent book, got me on the Today Show. And it was a blessing to be on the Today Show in New York. That was amazing. I don't discredit that. But my first book is my favorite book because I got to speak from the heart and talk about what really mattered to me, and it was telling my story. And once I was able to, the first book allowed me to eliminate shame. Like I said, two things you have to do with ADHD: eliminate shame and implement a system. It helped me eliminate shame, and I spent the next 5 years learning how to implement the system. I'm still learning how to do that. I self-published on Amazon. Uh, yeah, I'm a big fan of going to the mental hospitals. Yeah, I agree, and it's good to see somebody talking nice about the psych hospitals because a lot of times people share their bad experiences. But there's some good hospitals out there, and there's some good staff members. It really comes down to the staff who's working there. That's the key. Um, so, Aubrey, when you try every medication, I think it's helpful to look at the coping skills and also go back and reevaluate. Have you tried every medication? There could be some that you could try in different categories and classes that are off-label. How would someone go about being diagnosed with autism? Reference. So you can go to your primary care provider and ask for a referral. It's primarily psychologists who diagnose autism, but I don't think it should be that way. Now psychiatrists do it, and some mental health nurse practitioners diagnose autism, but the fact that there's only a limited scope of providers who diagnose it is part of the problem. It's part of the reason why everybody has to self-diagnose themselves with autism, and also the fact that it costs so much. Another barrier that sucks. Thank you so much for arts and crafts. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm doing my best, and I'm doing my part to end the stigma. And it's just about being real. Like authenticity is the key. You know, we can cap or we can tell the truth. If you have the courage to tell the truth, I almost feel like it's a responsibility because so many people are afraid to speak up. But the internet can be a scary place. So take your time. Depending on where you want to share and how much you want to share, take your time. Don't just hop into it. You know, don't just hop into it. People can be diagnosed with autism if they don't have the same. Well, Teresa, there's a criteria for it, right? There's a criteria for autism, like there is with ADHD. So no, I feel like kindergarten of a healing process, but it's been so important for me, art therapy. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that shame. It's good to lean into it sometimes. Lean into it. Feel that feeling. Allow yourself to be human. It's okay. It's all good. This is how we feel for the time being, but we'll do better. It's just how we feel, you know? Uh, and if art therapy helps you with that, then I would not abandon the art therapy. That's a that's a key part of your system. You see what I'm saying? The art therapy is a key part of your system. Remains unsafe. It's sometimes this is a wild card. The roommates that you may have at the psych hospital, because you don't get to pick your roommates. Um, I mean, when you're in college, like I didn't get to pick my roommates until my last year. But at the psych hospital, you never get to pick your roommates for the most part. So that can be a bit scary. It can be a bit scary, but um, you're there to get help. And if you meet some cool people, then great. And I found out that you do meet some cool people there. But in my experience, that's what I found out. But your primary objective is to get better. Your videos helped me have confidence to get diagnosed and not feel ashamed about it. Thanks for what you do. Our Brianna, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I find those that are transparent tend to move ahead faster with work. I think it's good to get some guidance about disclosure. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Cam, I agree because you want to hear about whatever regulations you have with your company or with, so on and so forth. But when you're transparent, I think people connect to you because you're speaking from an authentic place. And on top of that, when you're transparent, you've already dealt with the shame. Like I've had to deal with all this in front of millions, in front of people on TV, so I feel naked sometimes, but nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me because whatever I'm afraid of, I run towards it. And like it helps you grow and positions me to help out other people and make these connections with people. And that's what I'm after. That's the neurodivergent side of me. I want that connection, that authentic connection. I was talking to my uh, a comedy club promoter, and he was saying, "Oh, how do we get these ticket sales up? Blah blah blah. Who's your demographic?" And I'm like, "Look, my demographic is not white people. It's not black people. It's not Hispanic people. I don't have a race. That's my demographic. My demographic is anybody who wants to improve in life as it relates to their mental health and everything else. But my demographic is people who have been through a shared experience that want to improve their life mentally. That's my demographic. And that transcends race. You can have an Indian Mickey Ficky, you can have a black Mickey Ficky, you can have a white Mickey Ficky, Hispanic Mickey. It's not a race thing. It's a shared experience thing. And that's even cooler for me because now I get to connect with people who don't look like me. Now some people look like me, cool. I still want to hear their experience, but I get to connect with people from all types of backgrounds. And I see that we have a lot of similar experiences. Why did we grow up the same way? Why did we go through the same embarrassing things? Are there any other people out there who used to have passwords that involved their crush? Like, how embarrassed was I when my sister was like, "Oh, Coach, what's the password to your laptop? I need something from your laptop." I'm like, wait till I get home. Wait till I get home." She's like, "Coach, I need a password now." I'm like, "Oh, all right, fine. My password is I love Amber 23." You know, I love Amber, and Amber is still fine. That's besides the point. But the shame, you you got to get past the shame. Once you can look at yourself in the mirror and not be ashamed, uh, what can stop you? I've been going through a depression, really. And Jasmine, I always say that if you always feel like you're at the point where you don't want to be here anymore, that window of hope has to stay open, and professional help is always the best way to keep that window open. So a lot of people feel that way. More people than you know have chronic suicidal thoughts. So you have to take away the shame from that and implement a system, which starts by getting help. Sydney, I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Sydney. Um, Olivia, we're talking about how to thrive with ADHD, and you can do that by eliminating the shame. Number one, number two, implementing a system. I feel that doing things that make my inner child happy is very helpful and healing. It can be something as simple as jumping to a puddle and embracing being in that moment. Arts and crafts, that's facts. The things that remind us of our childhood make us happy. Jumping in a puddle, playing in the rain. There's a reason why I love football so much because Titans football is my first American thing. We moved here to the States in 1999. I was like six and a half. We moved to Nashville, Tennessee. In the same year that the Titans came to Nashville in 1999, the same year that I came. And that very first year, we went to the Super Bowl. And ever since, my love affair for them has just grown and grown. So when I watch football, it's a nostalgic thing for me. So every Sunday, I take 3 hours at a minimum. Sometimes I watch all the games, but that brings me back to my baseline. It makes me feel good. That's why I do it. The chain piece is a paralyzer. It is. Mickey Ficky. No, that's shame. You got to get over the shame. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. And Jasmine, yeah, this community, look, this is a very kind community. I tell people all the time. In my community, Democrats and Republicans kiss in the comments. Like we all support each other. Like we support each other. And thank you for that compliment. Autism and dating, an autistic anthrop. Oh, really? Yo, an autistic anthropologist. Do they have that already? No, I'm curious. An autistic anthropologist. Oh, wow, they have it. Oh, autistic anthropologist. Mm, no, I really do feel like I am one. Real talk, Francis. I feel like I'm. You feel like get me started now, but I feel like I'm an autistic anthropologist for real. Work with autistic patients. Having an ex girlfriend on the spectrum. I feel like I just get it. I feel like I just get it. You know, I could be an autistic. uh, Thank you, Green, and I appreciate you. Sergina, I'm not watching the debate. I don't watch. Like that's one thing about me. I don't keep up with politics. I know I should do a better job, but I've chosen to not keep up with politics for mental health reasons. Healing my inner child, but it's hard for me because don't you don't know what you need to heal. Well, it's all a part of learning yourself. And when you're neurodivergent, sometimes you have to learn yourself again as an adult because so much of what you've been doing has been to please other people. And I'm at that stage in my life. It's been a hell of an unmasking journey for me. That's why I love the comedy so much, and that's why I love these live streams because I'm just talking to y'all, and like this is as real as it gets. It's been a hell of an unmasking journey for me, uh, and it probably started before social media. But you always want to return back to yourself um, and learn who you are, and that's why I say eliminate the shame. Why do you mask? You mask because of the shame. Gotta eliminate the shame. Implement a system. That's what you're masking because you don't like who you are. So you have to turn to somebody else so that other people will like you. So now you like who you are. You see, I'm an autistic anthropologist. You know, nostalgia is positive for mental health. ADHD does not discriminate. Does not discriminate. I wouldn't like that pencil. Yeah, we don't allow pencils in the mental hospital for the most part. I could be contraband if people could hurt themselves, but somebody could steal it from you. And I'm a very private person. I wonder how to work with the shame of that. I'm authentic, but I'm alone always. But Kai said you can learn how to like yourself privately, and when you're by yourself, dealing with the loneliness is also loneliness is another thing. Mickey, Fake, you talk about loneliness. That's another thing that's part of the neurodivergent experience. So learning yourself in small, bits and pieces, and being okay with whatever you learn about yourself. Yes, that's key. I don't have ADHD, but I've been dealing with depression for a year now, and I've been feeling upset about myself. No reason, but I'm trying to overcome my depression. Rusty Russell, it works the same as the ADHD. You have to eliminate the shame. Depression is very shameful. Once you can attack that shame, you can implement a system for how you can work with your depression. That might include some Zoloft. It might include some friends. It might include a therapist. It may include avoiding substances. It may include avoiding certain people. It may include severing certain friendships and business relationships. But happiness is something that's worth fighting for. Keep that in mind. Like we only get to live this life once. I don't want y'all living life to where it's like, I'm just getting through life. No, like, keep your head up. We supposed to be enjoying this. We're supposed to be enjoying life. Keep in mind, we're supposed to be enjoying life. I know every day is not like a good day, but we're supposed to be enjoying life. But yeah, the unmasking journey. The only thing that made me feel uncomfortable in the mental hospital staff watching. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have to do that just to make sure that people are breathing every 2 hours, or at least when I was working night shift at the what was it, Georgia Regional back in the day as a nurse. I would just go in and make sure the patients are breathing. Everything is all good. Yeah. And Mandy May on TikTok. Yeah, yeah. You gotta fight for your happiness. You have to fight for your right to be happy. You gotta fight. Jessica, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also, if you watch my live streams, keep in mind that I'll be doing these live streams on my Late Night with Dr. Kojo YouTube page. I'm gonna have a YouTube page dedicated just for my live streams. So I'll be letting you all know on YouTube because I want to be organized. And also, I'm gonna be releasing long form content on YouTube because with the shorts are great to get people's attention. But I feel like I have like 60 seconds to talk to y'all. Sometimes I have more things to say that is going to take me 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. So I'm going to make longer form videos and just talk to y'all about the same things, and I hope to reach a wider audience. The skits, we're going to have some longer form skits. I want to have real life situations. I want to have things that people experience: autistic burnout, shame with ADHD, a depressive episode, getting through a depressive episode, clean your room when you're depressed. Like I'm looking to bring these things to life. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. I got a prescription for Concerta last week. How you feel, Leilani? Mandy May on TikTok says, "Do you ever get triggered from working with many different types of people?" No, I don't get triggered from working with many different types of people. Like Mandy May, you have to understand, I'm good at what I do. Part of why I do what I do is for confidence reasons. I'm really good at working with people. I'm the best in the world at what I do, and I'm confident because I have evidence that I'm good at talking to people. I can connect with people who don't look like me. That's a challenge. How do you connect with a 57-year-old Asian lady when you're a 31-year-old black male? How do you connect with a 14-year-old Caucasian female when you're a 31-year-old black male? How do you connect with a 62-year-old black male when you're a 31-year-old black male? Same, race, but different age group, coming from a different era. I'm an unk, I know, but like he's a grandpa. How do you connect? I'm just good at what I do. Um, so I want to use my powers for good. And if anything, like working in a psych hospital, like that's the easiest job I've ever had. I love it. What's difficult is the staff at the psych hospital can be difficult, but it's never the patients. Trust me, it's never the patients. I promise you. Oh, Leilani, it's all good. It's all good. Leilani's one of the moderators. It's all good. It's We switch the shows to Tuesdays, so it's gonna take people a while to, you know, get used to it. Any advice for anxiety? Yes, action, action. That takes some action. When you're anxious, you think and you perseverate, but you don't do a lot of action. So action defeats anxiety. Daniel says, any tips for a long flight? Dreading it. Sometimes I tire myself out and I get very tired by working on, or I might stay up before the flight and then I just sleep throughout the flight. Um, it works for me. I fly a lot. I've traveled way more this year than I've ever traveled. So I've had to get a system for being on planes and so on and so forth. So I just get myself very tired. And then I hop in a plane and I just pray that there's not a crying baby next to me. Sometimes, those prayers don't work. My depression was making me feel like I was a ghost. I don't really enjoy it. It made myself sick. Right. There's a lot of shame there, Jasmine. So just don't shame yourself, okay? Don't shame. And I know it's not as easy as like, stop shaming yourself, but just work to address the things that make you feel shame one by one. Off the subject, I am just wondering if you are married or single. Oh, so if married is, or if single is an alternative to married, then I'm single. And actually, I'm single, single. And we've talked about this before, I think, but there's different there's different categories to dating. You have in a relationship, which married falls underneath the umbrella. Then you have single. Single means that you're not dating anybody, but whenever you happen to go to, Cincinnati, Ohio, you have somebody who will, let you crash the night there and, maybe fix you a hot meal. Whenever you go to Jacksonville, Florida or Nashville, Tennessee, you have a girl or whoever you're into, you got somebody who will take care of you. You're single. Then you have single, single, where you're not entertaining or doing the Mickey Ficky with nobody. And right now, I'm in an era where I've had to go single, single, so I could really just lock in on what I'm trying to accomplish. I feel like the momentum is really good now. My team is starting to take form. There's a lot of really good momentum right now. So it's forcing me to be single, single. I don't know how much I like it. Michelle said, who's in Cincinnati, Ohio? Michelle, I'm weak. Yeah, so I love women, but I got to lock in right now. Cincinnati, Ohio. I just named Cincinnati as a random city. But Cincinnati, I have no reason to go to Cincinnati, Ohio. Maybe Nashville, but not Cincinnati, Ohio. Not at all. Jessica, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And part of why I'm single, single is because in my 20s, like this is a safe space. We're family. We can talk. Um, because in my 20s, like I always had a girlfriend. Like I would leave one relationship and then like I would have to have another. Like I don't know why, but I always felt like I had to have a girlfriend. And I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 26, but things started to make a bit more sense at that point. I'm like, hold up, I don't always have to have a girlfriend. And like as a guy, you have to. dissect and figure out why you think this way. Why do you always want a consistent girlfriend? Is it companionship? Are you feeling sexual all the time? Or like what's the reason why? Um, but yeah, I always had to have a girlfriend, and uh, I took a break from like relationships, and I date here and there. I'd be single, not single, single, but single, chilling. Um, and the more I've been able to focus on my craft and my passion, my purpose, it's made me way happier. I didn't think anything could make me happier than sex. I really did not think that. But I feel so much. Freaky. Yeah. Oh, no, I still love a freaky female. A freaky lady would make me very happy. You know, believe that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Job hopping, girlfriend hopping, bunny hopping, hopping. Just hopping all over the place. Yeah, chilling, single, single. So yeah, I gotta yeah, I gotta you know figure out some things. Of course, at some point, I'd like to. At some point, I'd like to have a wife and kids and a family. I definitely want that. But right now, when you can put things in perspective, it allows you to see your advantage for the moment. And right now, I'm young, I'm in shape, I got energy, so I'm able to travel. I'm able to fly here and there and there and there and there and there and there. I can't do that when I have no consistent old lady. Well, I mean, I can. I'll still do my thing, but most of the time, you're gonna have to like bring her along and stuff like that. Um, so right now I have the opportunity to be selfish, and it's a part of my system. But I say with ADHD, you need to eliminate shame and implement a system. Part of my system is uh, not avoiding women for forever. No, that's not going to happen. But for right now, as part of my system, like locking in and taking care of what I got to do. Oh yeah, look. I tell the truth. I tell the truth. And Sergina, so old lady is something that this is how we talk in the South. So if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, oh, this is my girlfriend or whatever. People are like, oh yeah, whatever, she's your girlfriend. If I'm like, oh, that's my old lady, people are like, oh my gosh, you actually like her. Oh my gosh, who is this woman? It just means that like you really like her. It just means that you really like her. But yeah, and also maybe a different conversation for a different day. But I do think that like women say, "Oh, be honest. Just let me know what you want. Just let me know what you want. Please, just be honest." It's very difficult to, you know, be with a woman and maybe you're just dating, it's not going anywhere, and for it to stay there, or at least for me, it always tends to like, friends with benefits. I don't know if it's possible for me. Maybe it has to do with all this social media, whatever, all that stuff. But my assistant, she can vouch for that. She knows that I don't lie. I never lie when talking to a lady. I let them know, hey, I'm busy. But sometimes people might lie to themselves. But honesty is always the best policy. It's the best policy. And by hearing and hearing by, yeah, I second this. When I realized that no sex does not kill me, I'm shocked. Like I don't even know how I'm here speaking to you all today. You know, being single, but the good Lord saw fit to keep, to spare my life and to give me more life and to give me strength from somewhere. So I'm just grateful for the good Lord. Just the good Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You have to be. And that's another thing about um, just maybe it's a neurodivergent thing, or maybe not. But honesty, like you just have to know. Like if you don't have the time, um, it's gonna be hard to curate anything as a Rolling Stone. You're here, you're there. I'm in Dallas. I'm in California. I'm in South Carolina. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Chicago. I'm in Austin. Like when you're all over the place, you know, more than likely you may have to include her and bring her on this journey. So, then you have to figure out, does she have TSA pre-check? You know, that- does she like traveling up? A lot of different things. Yeah, I know. I've been moving a lot this year. Um, yeah, at some point we'll slow down, but right now that I have the opportunity to be selfish, I got to go for it. I got to be everywhere that I can be. Sydney's saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Right, Sydney. See, Sydney's on the opposite spectrum. No pun intended. Mom of three, so Sydney is always busy, but Sydney loves her kids, so it's a very gratifying role. There's nothing more, in my opinion. There's no job more important than being a parent. So Sydney loves her kids. There's sometimes she wishes that her kids would let her use the restroom in peace. So like there's signs of everything. Oh yeah, yeah. TSA pre-check. Yeah. Once again, talking about a system, these are the things that are very important. Like I just left Chicago yesterday, and I've been in Chicago before, and I forgot how O'Hare Airport works. The rental car area is like detached away from the airport. But with my system, I'm like, all right, I know that I have TSA pre-check, and I check my bags in beforehand. So I'm gonna pull up to the rental car place instead of waiting for the bus. I'm gonna call the Uber to come and get me beforehand, so the Uber's already there. So by the time I drop off the rental car, I hop into the Uber, get straight to O'Hare Airport. I've already checked the bags in. I drop it at the Delta thingy, and then I catch my flight. Which is why whenever I don't fly Delta, I sometimes miss a flight because my system is so repetitive. So yeah, a girl would have to have pre-check, or she'll get stuck in Chicago. So then she can't be my old lady. Right. I agree. I agree. Please share about the conference. Oh yes. So and Kamala, thank you very much. I'll be speaking as the keynote speaker, as a keynote speaker at the ADHD International Conference, November 16th in Anaheim, California. So I'll be there. I'll be in Anaheim at that date. And yeah, I'm excited to be in a room full of neurodivergent people. None of us will have our wallets there, and we'll be able to use. Hopefully, we'll use Apple Pay there. So nobody from Walmart should show up, because whenever I go to Walmart, I have to put my stuff back because they'll let me use Apple Pay. But I'm looking forward to being in that environment. It's going to be very exciting. Is a frequent traveling part of ADHD dopamine hits? Is love of traveling aside ADHD? Jennifer, I don't think so, to be honest. I think social media has made traveling so exciting, because I don't remember people being so gung ho about traveling. I could be wrong, but now whenever I look on social media, people are like, well, I traveled here, I traveled there. So, but I do think that with ADHD, you like to get up and go, and you're kind of impulsive. You do get dopamine hit from traveling. That's part of the reason why I like to travel and to go to different places. So you're not far off, Jennifer. There's something there. Just gotta appreciate that. I'm always trying to, you know, work on my mindset. Oh, no, a lot of people have resentment for the partners. When their partners come along, because they didn't have that time to be selfish. And I come from a codependent background, so I'm learning to be selfish and not to feel bad about it. And codependency is not cute, um, especially in relationships. So this all just helps me just work on myself and do what I got to do. Jasmine, thank you for joining tonight's stream. I appreciate you. How did friends with? Oh my gosh, how did friends with benefits work for you in the past without jealousy and possessiveness? Francis, just in my experience, it has never worked out. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's ADHD. Maybe it's who I am. I don't know. I'm not some like one of a kind person. I live in LA. There's a lot of people. I gotta crack my neck every now and then. I live in LA. There's a lot of people doing better than me, so I'm not some unicorn or whatever. But friends with benefits has never worked out for me. Um, just doesn't work out. Just doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. Um, Object permanence issues. Sometimes taking pictures helps me out with that more. I'll take a photo of something, and that way, I won't forget that that thing like exists. But yeah, this doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't work out um, for me. So that's why whenever we've had the discussions on this platform about compersion and polyamory, it's always fascinated me. Not to say that I want to do that myself, but it's fascinated me that people are able to have this type of communication and lack of jealousy. I think that's remarkable. Well, all those are key, right? No, traveling can be tiring as hell. Yeah, I wear the Aura ring because of that to track my sleep. This is part of my system. I need to see how much I'm sleeping every night. Alyssa, how are you doing? Right, and look, Jessica, the best thing you can do for your partner is to take care of you for you, and then they take care of themselves for themselves. That's the start of a healthy relationship. You know, people forget that. You know, if you take care of you for you, and I'm working on myself for me, we can give each other the best parts of ourselves. Oh, it tracks your sleep. It lets you know what your stress levels are throughout the day. I use it for sleep primarily. Kamala, this really helps. It really helps. Amy, how are you doing? Been a while. Been a while. I had to have put a new lock in his house, but he lost it. Oh my goodness. Aubrey, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. But yeah, gotta have that system. So as you learn yourself a little bit better, you know what to look out for, and you know what to do. Let me see. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. All right. Yeah. Kind of like a mood ring. Kind of like a mood ring. Yeah. But Francis, yes. To answer your question, maybe for other people, friends with benefits works. I do believe that the concept of friends with benefits does work for some people, just not for me. Just not for me. So, Jessica, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I think I got this on from Best Buy. You can probably get it from Amazon, but I didn't know my ring size. You know, I had to go get fitted so I could learn my ring size. So if you know your ring size, you can get it online. But if you don't know your ring size, you might want to go like to the Best Buy and get it there. Taylor, how you doing? What's up? How you been? Uh, yes, and oh, the second part of your question, it is hard to get off of the drug. Um, affects her. And it, so I would say it's quite hard to get off of any antidepressant, but especially affects her. And keep in mind, affects her is in a different class. It's not in the class with Zoloft and Prozac and Paxil. Um, so getting off of Prozac is easier than getting off of Effexor. With Prozac, the half life is a bit longer. So if you forget to take it every now and then, it's like, oh, okay, like you don't feel it as much. But Effexor's half life is shorter, and I think it packs quite a punch, from what I've heard. So that's why I think Effexor. Um, let me see, Effexor. I think they had the smallest amount is 37.5. I think. I'm not sure. I think. Resources for female mid-30s who may have ASD and tools. Um, Books can be helpful. I have a book called Self Care for Autistic People. Somebody sent it to me. I forgot who sent it to me, but that could be helpful. Um, let's see, online forums. Your favorite creators who talk about neurodivergence can be helpful. Seeing a video example of things, and that's all that comes to mind right now. But there's so much more. So much more. Please make more videos about autism dating advice. All right, I got you. I got you. Like the person earlier said, I'm an autistic anthropologist. Like I get it. And yeah, Effexor is used for depression a lot. Thank you, Arts and Crafts. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I will also get off shortly. Let me give me like 5 minutes. I have class work tomorrow, but it's hard for me to know live and not on watch. So Taylor, we've been talking about having ADHD and how to thrive with ADHD. You eliminate shame and you implement a system. I'm the eliminating the shame part. I've been working hard at that part, so I'm getting better with that. But the implementing of a system is something that I've been working ferociously at all year to implement the system. And as the system gets better, it allows me to have time for other things. Um, so one thing that I want to experiment with is lives in the middle of the day or lives in the morning. There's a couple of things to experiment with, but I know that this is late for quite some people. So I've kept that in mind. Um, please make more videos on dating women with autism. Oh, don't you worry. I'm an expert on, well, I've only dated one autistic lady, so I can't say I'm an expert on it. But I think I understand the autistic language. I'll do my best. Wherever my knowledge runs out, I will let y'all know. Um, if I may, the ADHD Women's Palooza free on the year runs. It'll be so fun. Oh, okay. Sure. No, thank you, Kamala. Thank you. Um, Well, Libby, my thing is, I've told all the people on my platform that you should only listen to, like, you should take medical advice from anybody on the internet. Like, I'll provide like educational stuff, and like I talk to y'all as friends, but the only person who can adjust your medication is your psychiatrist. So if that's the professional opinion that they've given you, then I would stick with that. But I would never go against what somebody's provider has told them or give them like, you know, in-depth medical advice because I don't want to, interfere. Yeah, the announcements are made in a Discord server, and I'm looking for some other ways to galvanize our community. There's some better ways to do some things. Um, so my team will be looking into that. Anytime, I appreciate you. Kamala, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Um, oh, hey, gotta get that cry out. Gotta get that cry. Gotta get that cry. That has been a great live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Looks like a good time to end the stream. Kayla, how are you doing? You came at the end, Caleb, but you're still appreciated. You were very much appreciated. So I need to go prepare for bed so I can hit the gym. Um, yes. So we did do a water break, Lilong, and I was clearly dehydrated. We did do a water break. Uh, yes. So we moved the late night show to Tuesdays at 6 p.m. PST, 9 o'clock EST, and I'm working with my team to see when I can stream more and be more consistent because I enjoy this, and this gives me video ideas like no other. So we're working on my system. So I'm still working on that. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'm out. But I appreciate each and every one of you all who tune in. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for your attention, and let's have a great week. It's Tuesday. We're about to get to hump day. So tomorrow, whatever happens, it might be a rough day in the morning. It might be a rough afternoon, but let's do our best to seize the day and to manage our mood, and let's extract the best that we can get out of tomorrow and the rest of the week. Till next time, peace. Take care. I like that. I like that. Okay. Okay. Keep that in mind. Oh, a clap. Yee. All right. Take care. I love y'all.